It's a great time to be a One Piece fan. We are finally getting some of the biggest questions answered on Egghead Island, the anime finally dropped Gear 5 on us, and One Piece on Netflix may be the first live-action anime to be received well. One Piece fans are definitely eating. This has fans talking about the politics of One Piece again, and what its message is. Hassan Piker, Twitch streamer, had this to say.
First of all, Luffy is a terrorist. He is a freedom fighter in the most honorable sense of the word.
And let's be honest, we don't go to Trash Taste for the deep political analysis. So while the hosts chalk up the series to Gum Gum Man, Hassan points out something very true. What starts off as a whimsical pirate adventure slowly begins to morph into something else entirely. The mystery, the friendship, the adventure. One Piece is definitely one of a kind. I've always felt that One Piece had a very strong political message that was explicitly leftist. And I'll give you some examples. Racism is very prevalent on the Grand Line. No, I'm not talking about minority hunter Zoro. I'm talking about the inherent discrimination that the fishmen have endured at the hands of humans. The violence and hatred led them to find a home in the depths of the sea. Fishmen, like Arlong and Jinbei, have had bias towards humans as well because of this long history. Arlong decided that oppressing his oppressor was the right path, and it has Arlong Park where he tortures and terrorizes humans. We also find out his connection to Nami in the Arlong Park arc. After the time skip, we meet Hody Jones, the Fishman Island arc's main villain, who is responsible for the political assassination of Queen Otahime, a royal and political activist advocating peace between the fishmen and humans. But at the end of the arc, we see one of the most emotional moments in the series, with Luffy and Jinbei having a blood transfusion, breaking the barriers between the two races. This is instantly a recognizable anti-racist message.
He is quite literally fighting against an unjustifiable, corrupt military apparatus that is holding the entire world hostage, the world government and the Navy. He's literally killing cops. He's killing sea cops, and motherfuckers are like, no.
We come into contact with the Navy early in the series, and we immediately see the military-industrial complex. The Navy is often worse than pirates and drunk of their own authority. They're also ordered to execute pirates. The Sea Cops control the sea with fear and violence and are almost always an occupying force, not unlike the military and police structures in the real world. Then we have the world government. Initially, the world government is silent and doesn't start showing itself until around the Ines Lobby arc. But we quickly realize that they are an oppressive structure. After erasing the history of the past 800 years dubbed the Void Century, the world government has a monopoly on violence and information. This is one of the reasons Nico Robin is a threat. She's the last survivor of O'Hara, an island of archaeologists who were literally blown up for their historical research. We can see the parallels with the real world, how governments are quite often oppressive structures that use fear and violence as tools to control the masses. Slavery was made illegal on the Grand Line 200 years ago. However, there are still people who kidnap and sell citizens into slavery. The main culprits being the world nobles of the Grand Line known as the Celestial Dragons. They are descendants of the 19 of 20 kingdoms who formed what is now the world government. And it soon become clear that the world government is not in control. They follow the rules of the Celestial Dragons make. And the Celestial Dragons are feared and despised by the common people of the Grand Line. They do what they want, including owning people as property. Even pirates have become slaves. Slaves are worked to the bone and punished if they cannot meet their demands. Slaves are tranquilized and fitted with explosive collars so they're not even attempt to escape. The inhumanity of the Celestial Dragons know no bounds. They do what they want with no consequence. Well, until Luffy encounters them for the first time. Wano is the samurai country that has been taken over by the Beast Pirates. Their leader Kaido is one of the toughest enemies the Straw Hats face in the series. Kaido's factories are littered across Wano and as a consequence now has contaminated drinking water, which makes anyone who consumes it sick. The shogun of the country working with Kaido have no issue with their food supply, highlighting the stark class divide in the country. The poor have next to no resources, while the wealthy hoard resources while destroying all the citizens' land. The land of Wano gives us a glimpse of how the wealthy hoard resources and leave the poor for dead. To me, nothing highlights Oda's socialist politics more than the character Monkey D. Dragon. Dragon is Luffy's dad and is the most wanted man in the series. And why is his bounty so high? He's a revolutionary whose goal is to take down the Celestial Dragons in the world government. Oda himself says Dragon is based off of real-world revolutionaries like Che Guevara and Fidel Castro. And Dragon's ship Granma is also the name of Castro's ship. Dragon has formed the Revolutionary Army, and this is the only organization that is dedicated to going against the world nobles and their government. With formidable military strength, the Revolutionary Army actually poses a threat to bringing down the oppressive system that has held power for some half-century. The examples we just went over are some of the themes explored in One Piece, from the oppressive structures of the world government and their navy, or the Celestial Dragons and their human property. Oda's leaning toward leftist, particularly socialist politics are more and more pronounced. The more you pay attention to its world, the more it becomes apparent. It's a massive show, so there's a lot to pick up on. And I didn't even get into things like the trans representation, the decolonization, and how the media is one of the most powerful forces in the series. One Piece is full of politics, and whether it be characters or the vast world itself, years could be spent dissecting either. And don't just take it from me. Watch One Piece for yourself. See what your annoying anime friends have been bugging you about for the past decade or more. And once you're invested, it's really hard to get disinterested in the Straw Hat's adventures.